Good morning and welcome to Heartland Dual Sport. I don't know if you can tell or not, but the wind's blowing pretty dang good today. But this morning we're going to bring you a video on the 5 things that I hate about the Honda Africa Twin. So let's go ride. Well, as many of you know, we've had this bike for several months now, and we always try to do a full review on things after we've had them for a while. And I think one thing that I want to point out real quick, guys, is I think you have an advantage of going and listening to reviews on non-sponsored reviews. Number one, there's nothing in it for me. You know, I don't have a company that's backing me that says, hey, we're going to pull your sponsorship if you don't hit on these highlights and just kind of overlook the negatives. I think that's one of the huge things when you're talking about looking at reviews. And you guys that like to watch reviews, you know what I'm talking about. It is normal to me to be skeptical of someone who's a sponsored person doing a review on a product. I think that's one of the benefits of our channel and being small. We're not sponsored by anybody, and we're not obviously sponsored by Honda. So anyways, 5 things I hate about the Honda Africa Twin. As you all know, this is a bike that we love and we're super excited to have, but as anything, there's going to be some things that need to be fixed and or addressed. Honda advertises this bike as an adventure bike. Alright guys, we're rolling up to the stop sign. Hopefully the wind noise is not too terrible. Again, you know this is something that we battle with pretty regular, but I kind of need to stop to show you what I'm talking about anyways. But number one, this bike's advertised as an adventure bike. If you look, and let me put the bike in neutral, if you look right down in here, this is the 12-volt charger that Honda makes for the Honda Africa Twin. They even make a spot for it in your dash up here. Factory part from Honda costs you $75. I can only imagine what the guys at Honda, I can't remember now, it was the last time me and Steve was at the Honda dealer, but it was an astronomical amount that the mechanics are getting per hour now. And actually I think it was half hour. I want to say it was either $50 or $60 a half hour. So if you had to have Honda put that in, there's no telling what that thing would cost you. Again, Honda, why that wasn't included from the factory is beyond me. That's I don't think that asking for one 12-volt accessory port is asking for too much when you're spending $13,000 on a motorcycle. I just don't think that that's unreasonable. Anyways, guys, I don't want to be a dead horse, but if you are looking for an inexpensive charger that you can put on your Honda Africa Twin, check out Eclipse. I've got a video on this. You guys can go watch the video. There'll be a link around here somewhere. I don't know. You guys know I'm terrible with links, but look through my video list. Anyhow, number 2 on the things I hate most about the Honda Africa Twin, I'm gonna have to go with foot pegs, guys. The Honda Africa Twin, again, is advertised as an adventure bike. The stock foot pegs, and I'll have to put some photos up here in a little bit for you guys to see, but the stock foot pegs are actually smaller than what comes on my DRZ 400. So why they wouldn't actually put a decent set of foot pegs on from the factory is beyond me. Again, I don't think it's an oversight. Honda, the Honda team, the team of guys who put all this stuff together, they did an awesome job putting this bike together, but these are some of the downfalls, and I just can't figure out why they're making a bike advertised as an adventure bike without some foot pegs that you could actually stand on or clear mud away from. So that's number 2. Number 3, this isn't a huge deal, guys, because honestly my first initial thoughts, and I think I even put this in the initial thoughts video or the 1600 mile review video, is the tires. I'm not 100% sure why they'd put the tires on this bike that they put on it. The tires, and I'll throw in a couple of video clips or something showing you the tires. They're really a street tire. And if you was going to kind of compare it to your cars, I think it's an all-season tire. I don't believe at all that it's all-terrain. It's what you'd consider an all-season tire for a light pickup. This bike's considered an adventure bike. Why not put on some decent adventure tires on the bike from the factory? I'll tell you how adamant I am about the 5 things that I hate about the Honda Africa Twin. I actually had to pull off this road here to figure out what my number 4 and number 5 was. So yeah, this is just a video for fun. But the next 2 both start with C's. The letter C. Number 4, the bike is advertised as an adventure bike. And this is my question. Why does it not come from the factory with cruise control? Initially, almost all my adventure riding has been done with the DRZ. You guys that follow my channel already know that. When I was looking at the Honda Africa Twin, and I noticed that it didn't have cruise control in the description and whatnot, I thought, how big of a deal could that be? I don't even use the cruise control in my pickup. I remember saying that. But after recently, I've been, as you guys know, we're plapping. As you guys know, we are prepping for planning an epic adventure. And part of that, I've been actually going out and riding when I can go ride, and we'll go ride up to 400, 500 miles a day, just planning and prepping for this trip. Prior to that, I've been on sport bikes and cruisers. I've never tried to ride 400 or 500 miles in a day. But I can tell you, at the end of the day, cruise control would be a huge benefit. And when you're talking about an adventure bike from the factory, because cruise control is not going to be an easy add-on. So far, the things that we've talked about are easy fixes. Cruise control, the only thing that's really available is you got the different locks, like throttle locks and stuff like that, and that's what I'm going to end up going with, is the throttle lock. But at that, if you're traveling with another buddy who stays on an XCX and he actually puts his bike in cruise control, his bike's going to stay at this constant speed that the cruise control set, just like in your vehicle. With a throttle lock, my bike's going to be locked just as the same as if I was holding the throttle. So for example, going up this little bit of a hill right now, my bike would start slowing down if you didn't give it more gas. And the opposite side of that, if you start going down a hill, your bike's going to speed up with a throttle lock. Now, again, if you're just needing that relief so that you can take your hand off, shake it out, or do whatever else, the throttle lock's going to work just fine for those types of situations. And I've also understand that there's a couple of them out there, and the one I'll end up going with is supposed to help you a little bit with throttle control, because you can tighten it down if you get into a scary or sketchy situation, and that will help maybe keep you from jerking the throttle. Number 5, guys, we're on number 5 now, and I hope like crazy that this wind noise is not too terrible, because my time's limited. As you guys know, I work way too much, so I'm hoping that I can get this video done today. Number 5 on the list of the 5 things that I hate about the Honda Africa Twin is, why is there no crash protection? I understand the little cheesy skid plate that almost everybody puts on bikes anymore, and you expect that to be not up to standard for actually doing adventure riding, but this is an adventure bike, guys. Honda actually makes, from the factory, they make crash protection for this bike, and as you can see, I haven't done my review on the crash protection yet, but Honda makes that for their bike, crash protection. Doesn't come on it, but they make it. And then while we're talking about what they make that doesn't come on the bike, when you're talking about an adventure bike, and it goes right along with the crash protection, it ain't going to cost Honda very much to add that to their bike. Why didn't it have a center stand? I'll just throw that out as number 6 as a bonus thought. But an adventure bike, you're riding this bike across America, you have a flat on your rear, why don't you go ahead and put the center stand on the bike And I understand that each one of these little things that I've said, the 5 things plus your number 6, which is a bonus one, are all up for debate. I encourage each and every one of you to comment below, let me know what your thoughts are. But I'm just saying, guys, the bike costs $13,000, and most of the features that I have named or listed come on the Tiger Triumph XCX from the factory at the same price. Now, you could argue that this is a 1000 or a 998cc motor, and we all know the majority of your expense of your motorcycle comes from the engine, suspension. Yeah, let's just say engine. I mean, that's your biggest cost on a motorcycle. I get it. It's a great motor. I'm not taking away from that. And again, guys, if you like our video, give us a big thumbs up. If you know anybody interested in, or maybe even tossing the idea of buying a Honda Africa Twin, and they're thinking of the pros and cons, here's a list of 5 from the factory cons. We will be doing a video shortly on the 5 things that I absolutely love about the Honda Africa Twin. If you haven't already, I'd love to talk you into subscribing. As always, we appreciate your likes, comments, and subscribes. May you have a blessed week.